I've got a local anesthesia written for tomorrow. Let's review. How do you get numb? Basically, when you inject into the site, there's a bunch of nerves. We have our PSA, our MSA, our ASA, our IA, our mental, our yada 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 yada. When you inject, the local anesthetic basically coats the nerve for a little visual. And what it does is it blocks the peripheral nerve conduction by decreasing the permeability of ion channels. Local anesthetics inhibit the influx of sodium ions. This is that fun part where you learn about depolarization and repolarization. What you really need to know when you gotta take a test is that the resting state is going to be negative 70 MV. Peak potential is going to be 30 MV, and firing threshold is going to be negative 50 MV to negative 55 MV. To put this simply on how this happens, we have an action potential. That's a nerve impulse. You touch a hot stove, ow! You get pricked, ow! That's an impulse, ow! It happened, it hurt, it goes to your brain instantaneously. So what we're trying to do with anesthesia is we're trying to slow it down. We are decreasing the rate of depolarization. What's polarization? That's basically when the gates are opened and the sodium goes in. So that's just what depolarization is. Just think about it as something opening and coming in. You're pulling the door open, pulling the door. And on the outside of the door, we have sodium, Na. And on the inside, we have potassium, K. And the door is going to be calcium, Ca. So you're just chilling, you're having, a good relaxing time. That resting potential is negative 70 MV. Then there's a knock at the door. So you're walking over to go open the door. So now we have an action potential. So you're slowly going to the door and you're opening it. Okay, you're opening that calcium channel. You open the door and there's sodium. Hey. They enter the axoplasm, the front porch. So you're like, oh, hey, what's up? All of a sudden they're holding like the hose, or you can say like they're very emotional, so they come in crying. So they come in spraying their emotions. They're firing at you. So now you have rapid depolarization. You're like, oh my gosh, your threshold is there. You're at the negative 50 MV. They're giving it all. They're doing all or none. They're giving you the waterworks. They're telling you this and that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here. So K needs to go. Okay, potassium's ready to get out of here. There's too much and I just can't handle it. I need like 30 minutes to myself, a positive 30 minutes, because that was just too much negative. It was too much negative 50, too much negative sodium. I'm just done. I just need to recuperate myself. I need to chillax, okay? I'm repolarizing now. I need to recover. So you're like, okay, I've had enough time with you. I'm gonna need you to go. And so after that, sodium leaves. And now you're back down. You're gonna go and just rest. You're gonna be at your rest. No more peak, no more fire. You're just gonna rest now. The repolarization has begun and you're just gonna rest. That's basically depolarization and repolarization. Did that help? We also have these things called absolute refractory and relative refractory. Refractory basically means sodium and potassium are backed on their regular sides. Sodium's on the outside, potassium's on the inside. A neuron cannot refire until it's back at the resting potential. It's recharged, it's repolarized. Absolute refractory means that it cannot be re-stimulated no matter how bad the stimulation is. So it's like, it absolutely cannot, I cannot. Relative refractory, the resting state's acquired, kind of. It just needs a larger stimulation in order to achieve the firing threshold. It's kind of like just take a nap. I just need to go and take a quick little nap real quick. That's relative. Sometimes when your relatives are over, you just gotta step away and take a nap for a second and come back to handle them. Anyway, so back to how that relates to getting numb. you're trying to prolong the rate of repolarization. You're trying to keep the relax, okay? You don't want sodium coming in and freaking you out. You're trying to chillax and just enjoy your time. So local anesthesia inhibit the influx of sodium ions. Trying to keep you relaxed, okay? Numbs ya, if you will. Literally that. Also know that it affects the myelinated fibers only at the nodes of Ranvier. It's also important to know what gets numb first. Autonomic goes. Your body usually does things on its own, like you breathe on your own, your blood pumps through its own, right? So your nerves usually tell you automatically what's going on. So your autonomic goes first. Then temperature, you're not going to tell something's hot or cold. Then the pain receptors are gone. Then touch and pressure, and then vibration and motor. And then they come back in the opposite order. So motion, vibrator, touch, pressure, pain, temperature, and autonomic. Anyway, so what does local anesthetic do? It inhibits the what? Influx of sodium ions. It wants to decrease the rate of what? Depolarization. It wants to prolong the rate of what? Repolarization, exactly. It affects what kind of fibers? Myelinated fibers, yep. Only at the what? Nodes of Ranvier? You got it. What's the resting potential? -70 MV. What is the peak potential? 30 MV. What is the firing threshold? -50, you got it. I hope this helped, and good luck studying, guys. Bye.